Today on BRStv, when do you calibrate your pH probes? Every year or every day? Hi, I'm Ryan, your host of BRStv, and I'm excited to be back from my vacation. Thanks for all of your patience while I spent some time on the beach with my wife and new son Flynn. While I was away, Aaron, our R&D guy, was installing new test tanks and exploring some concepts for BRStv Investigates, and I don't think any of us can wait to get that off the ground. Huge thanks to RT for covering me while I was gone. In fact, huge thanks in general to RT. He's done such an awesome job coming in and adding a new face to BRStv and doubling the amount of videos we do. Sadly for us, but awesome for him. He's not only on vacation sailing the Caribbean with his wife this week, but he also let us know he was offered a career opportunity he couldn't pass up. Super sad for me and the team here that loves RT, but awesome opportunities always present themselves to awesome people, and I'm very excited for him. Hopefully in the next couple weeks, we'll be able to introduce you to another member of the BRS team and keep what he started going strong. So for today, you're stuck with me on Wednesdays as well as my normal Fridays. Today I'm answering one of the more commonly asked questions on YouTube, this time asked by Flenner: how often do you need to calibrate your pH probe? The answer is really based on how important pH monitoring or control is on your system and the types of probes you use. If you don't control anything based on pH and almost never look at it, I guess you can say you almost never need to calibrate them as well. There's no need to calibrate something that you don't use. That's not the case for most of us, so I'm going to refine the answer based on three common types of use: controlling critical life support, controlling less critical life support, and simple alerts and alarms. Calibrating your probe takes about 5 minutes and costs around $2, so in general I'd suggest calibrating them every 3 months as a blanket statement. If you're using a decent probe, that should be more than adequate. However, you can apply some basic logic behind that to do them more or less frequently as well. If you're controlling critical components of life support that can either send things south fast or require accuracy to perform properly, I'd calibrate monthly as a component of proper maintenance. Calibrating the probe monthly will not only keep it accurate, but will also keep you in touch with overall probe health. Couple examples of uses I find critical are calcium reactors, where the pH probe controls the acidity and potency of the reactor solution. A change of 1/10 of a point here could significantly change the amount of calcium and alkalinity added to the tank. Also, situations where pH issues need to be caught as quickly as possible, such as pH control on auto top-offs with Kalkwasser. In situations like these, spending the $2 and 5 minutes of time once a month is a solid investment. If you're using a pH probe for limited alarms, control less critical functions, or equipment that has a slower impact like a CO2 scrubber on your skimmer or ultra-slow dosing pump, calibrating quarterly or every 3 months is likely a really solid schedule. I honestly think this is the minimum I'd recommend for anyone who's actually paying attention to pH or really cares about monitoring or controlling anything based on pH. The third is using pH for simple alerts or alarms to let you know when something major is going wrong. In this case, I would certainly monitor it from time to time, but you likely will need to calibrate it every 6 months to make sure it hasn't fallen significantly outside of its operating range. Now, all this assumes you're using a decent probe to begin with. Probes with poor quality seals and junctions will need a bit more attention. On the opposite end of that spectrum, if you use a high quality probe, particularly double junction probes, you can often go a lot longer between calibrations, and the probe will last a lot longer because the probe's second junction protects it from all the proteins in the aquarium water, which will eventually cause the probe to drift and/or need to be replaced. For those of you that are curious what a solid probe looks like, I'll throw in a small plug for ours. The BRS pH and ORP lab probes are both double junction probes, so you can see the second junction right in the middle of the probe. Again, this protects the reference components inside the probes to significantly extend the probe's life and increase accuracy. BRS probes use high-quality silicone seals and Pellon strip junctions, which are both superior to the rubber seals and ceramic peg junctions found in many probes. We also use high-quality noise-reducing cable shielding and reinforced BNC connectors to offer what I think is without question the best pH probe offered in our industry. That wraps up today's episode. If you're interested in learning a bit more about how probes work in general, check out one of our older videos. BRS lab grade probes, what's the difference? If you like these video facts, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. See you next week with another 52 FAQ.